Which games are must bets for week 17 of the 2023 NFL regular season? It's the second to last week of this NFL regular season, and I want to make it count. If that sounds good, don't forget to spike the like button. This is the show where I give you my 5 to 6 favorite spread picks of this NFL week, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Over the last month, we are 13-8, doing pretty well overall, and looking to bounce back from our worst week of the last month, going 2-3. Not a disaster, but not our standard. So let's look to continue a holiday season and give you some presents, right? Let me know in the comment section below your favorite best bet pick of this week. And let me know how you feel about my picks. Don't forget to subscribe to weekly NFL picks just like this. And you can check out my Patreon, where I do give out all of my bets every week over there. Link in the description. It's time for best bets versus the spread on the BLV. Let's make it count. Our first pick is the Denver Broncos -3 at home in Mile High versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I like this for a variety of reasons. First of all, this is a motivation spot for Sean Payton. This football team, the Denver Broncos, just laid an egg for the world to see against the New England Patriots at home. They have the spark they needed. They benched Russell Wilson. They bring in Jarrett Stidham. And some people may fade the Broncos for that simple fact. No Russ, Jarrett Stidham. I'm here to tell you that Russell Wilson is not very good. Russell Wilson is too much off script and out of structure. Sean Payton needs a quarterback that will produce within the system. He went out and he acquired Jarrett Stidham this offseason. He was given Russell Wilson. He actually went out and signed Jarrett Stidham after what he saw Jarrett Stidham produce for the Raiders last year, late last season. And knowing his background coming from the Patriots, I know Jarrett Stidham well. He's got a good arm, he's a pretty underrated athlete, and he's a smart guy. He'll produce, he'll get the ball where it needs to go, and he won't make too many mistakes. He'll play within himself. They'll run the ball against the Chargers front that's post-Sebastian Joseph Day release, not a very good run defense overall, and a secondary that's been giving up plays all year, all season long. The Denver Broncos, I think, are going to get a spark from Jarrett Stidham. I think they're going to get a spark from Sean Payton putting everyone on notice in this organization. And defensively, they're playing at home against Easton Stick, who they shut down in the first matchup. They destroyed the Chargers in the first game, knocking Herbert out for the season. And this secondary can cover Keenan Allen or no Keenan Allen, a Charger receiving core. Austin Eckler's not going to tear apart this team on the ground the way many other teams can because they can't run the ball all that well. This is just a good spot to me. I think people are overvaluing Russell Wilson being out. I think they're undervaluing Sean Payton in this spot in particular at home against Easton Stick and the Chargers, who had their last hurrah against Josh Allen and the Bills. Everyone saw that. Everyone saw Denver lose. It's a good mix to fade recency bias. Take the Broncos. My second best bet for week number 17, I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams once again here on Best Bets. We did it last week. It was our best pick, Rams -4. And it's going to be a great pick this week as well. A lot of people are scared to take the Rams -4.5 at New York because West Coast going East Coast. But here's the thing. Rams have had 10 days, right? 10 days to rest, prepare, have some Christmas dinner, some turkey with their family, all that stuff. Cooper Kupp recovering, Williams recovering, Stafford recovering, Aaron Donald recovering, right? This is a lot of elite players on this roster that's mixed with a lot of young players. And those older guys maybe can rest up a little bit longer for this big game. What is really needed? This game is needed for the Rams to make the playoffs. Like, don't underestimate that fact. Matthew Stafford is playing at a top 3 level in the NFL. Like, the 3 best quarterbacks in the league right now are Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Matthew Stafford. Like, those are the guys that are playing the best right now. Matthew Stafford has been lights out over the last month plus. This offense is in a great rhythm, understanding of play calling from Sean McVay, what's working, what's not. I mean, guys like Demarcus Robinson, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, this trio of receivers all making plays. The run game has been fantastic. I mean, last game alone against the Saints, they had 3 receivers with 6+ catches and a running back with 100 yards. Stafford had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, that's great balance. This offense is top 3, top 4 in the NFL right now. Run it, throw it, doesn't matter. Stafford is good against the blitz, really good against the blitz, and Wink Martindale is a blitzing defensive coordinator. And then on the other side of the ball, the Rams can stop the run, which is what the Giants need to be able to do to be successful. If it's Tyrod Taylor, he's a little bit better than DeVito, but like, he's not a game changer. They don't have really dangerous receivers that I'm scared of in New York. I like the Rams. This is a must-win game. -4.5 is nothing for the difference between these two teams, in my opinion. So give me the Rams on the road in New York to take care of business and win by at least a touchdown. That's my second best bet of week number 17. My third best bet of week number 17 is the San Francisco 49ers to bounce back -13. I don't need to go on a full soliloquy here, but let's just put it this way. The San Francisco 49ers were a little embarrassed last week. Their leader, their quarterback, played his worst game of his career, Brock Purdy, and he's been questioned for the entire week. The 49ers are now being questioned as an elite team, a Super Bowl contender. People are saying they're flawed. They're not that good. They're overrated. Well, now they get a chance to go on the road and play the team and the organization that fired Kyle Shanahan's dad. San Francisco is only favored by 13 points against, in my opinion, the worst team in the NFL. That would mean the best team is playing the worst team in the NFL. The worst defense in the NFL against the best offense in the NFL. The team that ranks last against quarterbacks and running backs in fantasy football against Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. I could see the Niners putting up 40 points. And even if Jacoby Brissett is in this game, I don't see him putting up 30. Especially seeing as how Washington can't block. And they sure will not be able to block Chase Young, Nick Bosa, and Javon Hargrave, who are all angry after last game. So San Francisco comes out, they prove a point, they get back on track, they fix some of the things, they're on their details. They needed a loss, and I think they get back on track here with a huge win against Washington. They cover easily. That's the third best bet. Fourth best bet of week number 17. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, -2.5 at home to win the division against the New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay has a chance to sweep the Saints. And by the way, Dennis Allen's Saints have never beaten Todd Bowles' Bucs. A lot of people think of the Saints have the Bucs number, and that was the case. But not anymore. They swept them last year, I believe, and now they beat them earlier this year and dominated them in New Orleans. What do you think's going to happen in Tampa the way that these two teams are playing? Tampa is playing lights out football. Baker is playing great. They're pass protecting phenomenal. And Mike Evans, Chris Godwin looks healthy. They're running the ball better than they have in 2 years. I mean, the defense, they can really disrupt Derek Carr with the blitzing that they bring and pressuring up the middle with Vita Vea, Devin White on blitzes. I think they held Chris Olave to only like 1 catch last time they played. So I don't think the Saints will be able to run the ball. I think Derek Carr is going to be disrupted by the pressure. The Saints' pass protection has been iffy, especially against the blitz. And then on the other side, I think that the Bucs offense is playing really well, and I think they can protect Baker in this game, allow him to have time, and make throws and hit the matchups. So it's in Tampa. You're getting the better, hotter team at home in a huge game under a field goal. Maybe that seems a little off, or maybe this is, feels like a trap, but I'm walking right into it. I do not care. Give me Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay to win, to cover, -2.5. My next best bet, and that is, the 5th best bet of the video? Give me CJ Stroud in his return at home over the rival Tennessee Titans. The Texans already beat the Titans, and that was without their best player, CJ Stroud. That was also without Nico Collins, if I'm not mistaken. Or I might be wrong about that, but nonetheless, both of them are in the lineup here, including Dalton Schultz. So CJ gets the weapons that he didn't have last time he was the starter. He's back, he's healthy, and this is a Titans team that if they can't run the ball, they can't move the ball. They won't be able to run against the Texans. That is just the way the Texans' run defense is playing as of late. And you look at the first game where they completely shut down Derrick Henry. I think he had 13 yards on 9 carries or 10 carries. It was something crazy. Plus, I don't even know if Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill is going to be the quarterback. If it's Will Levis, obviously more turnovers, more potential bad plays. Ryan Tannehill, just a guy that is washed. Can't move anymore, can't make many throws, doesn't even know DeAndre Hopkins is on his team. Either way, it's not great. Tennessee's offensive line will not travel well. They're one of the worst pass protecting O-lines in football. The Texans should be able to create a rush. And I just think the Texans will control the line of scrimmage. Without Jeff Simmons, there's no real interior rush to worry CJ Stroud. And on the other side, I think they'll stop the run and rush the passer. So CJ Stroud's back, better quarterback, at home. Texans been on fire at home. Texans can vertical passing game you just big shots down the field all the time. And that's what the Titans struggle with on defense. I just love the matchup. I love the motivation spot for the Texans to make the playoffs. I love the emotional edge that they'll get from CJ coming back. There's a lot to love about the Texans in this game. So I like Houston -4.5 to win, to cover, and to take care of the Titans and to sweep Tennessee this year. My 6th and final best bet, I'm going to take the Raiders. I believe in the Raiders, the way they're playing, their energy, their bravado. I'll take the Raiders on the road at the Indianapolis Colts +3.5. I think the Raiders are the better team. I think they have the best unit in this game, the defense. The Raiders' defense has been the best team in the NFL over the past month or so against the run in EPA. They dominated the line of scrimmage against the Chiefs. Absolutely dominated. They got pressure on Mahomes. They stopped the run. They stifled the Chiefs' offense. I think they can do that to the Colts. The Colts' offense is pretty good, but Minshew is not Mahomes, and Minshew can turn it over, and the Raiders have been turning it over a ton. Jack Jones at corner has been doing his thing, and Spillane's been playing well. Diablo, of course, Crosby. These guys are playing lights out, and they're very well schooled. I do think there's a potential down spot or a little bit of an emotional down spot after beating the Chiefs. But at the same time, I think this team's playing with physicality. I think they're playing with passion. I think the Raiders are genuinely having fun. And that's a big thing. The Colts, I just think they've been a little overrated for weeks. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball all that well. Michael Pittman's still banged up. If he's out, this is a must bet. They can't throw the ball without Michael Pittman. He's their entire receiving core. And defensively, the Colts aren't particularly scary. It's a perfect environment for Aiden O'Connell in a dome. They've got matchups on the outside against weak corners in the Colts. And the pass rush isn't really that great. So I feel like Aiden O'Connell will have more success as opposed to playing a really good pass defense in the Chiefs. He plays the Colts. The run defense is maybe, toe-to-toe the same. But I feel like the Raiders have been running the ball better as of late, too. Zamir White or Josh Jacobs. So I like the Raiders. I just think they're better right now. I think they're playing better, and you're getting 3 in the hook. So even if they lose by a field goal, you still cover. I like the Raiders with the points here. That's my final and 6th best bet for week number 17. The second last week of the regular season. Can you believe it? Here we are. We're almost at the playoffs. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your best bet in the comment section below. Gronk spike the like button. Subscribe. It's Mitch. Peace.